The suite overlooked the turquoise arc of the Palm Jumeirah, where artificial islands shaped like date palms stretched into the Arabian Gulf. At 7:14 a.m., housekeeping supervisor Layla Al-Mansouri knocked once, then twice. No answer. She swiped her card, pushed the heavy door open, and stepped into silence broken only by the low hum of the air conditioning. On the king-sized bed, beneath crisp white linens edged in gold thread, lay Nadia Khalil, 31 years old. Eyes open, fixed on the ceiling. A single silk pillow rested across her chest, not pressed down, but placed deliberately, as if someone had tried to muffle sound or hide what had happened. No blood. No struggle marks visible at first glance. Just stillness. Layla backed out slowly and called security. By 8:03 a.m., Dubai police were inside the room. Forensic technicians in white suits moved like shadows across marble floors. The groom, Khalid bin Rashid Al-Harbi, 38, heir to a family construction empire worth billions, was gone. His phone, wallet, passport, everything left behind except the clothes he wore when he checked in 3 days earlier. Security footage from the corridor showed him leaving at 4:47 a.m., alone, wearing a dark hoodie pulled low, carrying nothing. He walked straight to the service elevator, head down. The last image captured him stepping into the underground parking garage. After that, nothing. Nadia's body was transported to the Rashid Hospital morgue. Preliminary examination suggested asphyxiation. The official cause would come later, but the detectives already knew this was no accident. This was a honeymoon that had ended in death. And the question that would haunt investigators for months began forming even before the autopsy report. What secret could drive a man like Khalid Al-Harbi, wealthy, respected, newly married, to vanish after his bride's death? They met 4 years earlier, in London, at a charity gala for water projects in the Gulf. Nadia was there representing her family's import-export firm, specializing in luxury textiles from Italy and France. She wore a midnight blue gown that caught the light like oil on water. Khalid noticed her across the room, tall, poised, with a quiet laugh that carried over the string quartet. He approached with 2 glasses of champagne. "You look like someone who's tired of small talk," he said. She smiled. "And you look like someone who's used to getting what he wants without asking." They talked for 3 hours. He told her about his childhood in Sharjah, summers on the family yacht, the weight of being the eldest son in a dynasty built on concrete and ambition. She spoke of growing up in Amman, studying economics in Beirut, moving to London to prove she could stand on her own. No mention of pressure. No mention of expectations. They exchanged numbers. Messages turned to calls. Calls turned to dinners. By the end of the year, they were inseparable whenever their schedules aligned. Weekends in Paris, skiing in the Alps, quiet evenings in his Kensington apartment. Khalid proposed on a private beach in the Maldives, under a sky full of stars. The ring was a 5-carat emerald flanked by diamonds, simple, elegant, like her. She said yes without hesitation. The wedding was planned for the following spring in Dubai. A ceremony at the family's private estate in Emirates Hills, followed by a reception for 800 guests at the Armani Hotel. Photographers from Vanity Fair Middle East covered it. Social media buzzed with envy. To the outside world, it was perfect. Behind closed doors, something else was unfolding. Khalid had always known he was different. As a teenager in an all-boys school in Dubai, he felt the pull towards certain classmates, quiet glances, accidental touches in the locker room, a rush he couldn't name. He buried it. His family spoke of duty, lineage, producing heirs. Homosexuality was not discussed, it was erased. In his 20s, while studying business at INSEAD in France, he began to explore. Discreet apps. Private clubs in Paris. Men who understood discretion. He told himself it was a phase. He would outgrow it. Marriage would fix it. Nadia never suspected. Why would she? He was attentive, affectionate in public, passionate in private. He planned surprises, wrote notes, held her hand during family dinners. He loved her, he believed that. Just not in the way society demanded. But secrets have weight. They press against the ribs until something cracks. The crack came 6 months before the wedding. Khalid had reconnected with someone from university, an architect named Sami Nasser, now living in Abu Dhabi. They met for coffee under the pretense of discussing a new project. Coffee became dinners. Dinners became nights in a rented villa in Al-Barari. Sammy was kind, patient, unafraid. For the first time, Khalid felt seen, not as an heir, not as a future husband, but as himself. He told himself it would end after the wedding. One last taste of freedom. Nadia discovered it 2 weeks before their honeymoon. She had flown to Dubai early to finalize details. Khalid was in a meeting. She stayed at his penthouse in downtown. While looking for a charger, she found his secondary phone in a drawer. Old model, no passcode. Curiosity, not suspicion, made her open it. Messages, photos, voice notes. Sammy's name appeared dozens of times. The most recent, a photo of Khalid asleep, Sammy's arm around him, time-stamped 3 days earlier. She sat on the floor for an hour, reading. Then she cried, quietly, so the housekeeper wouldn't hear. When Khalid returned, she said nothing. She smiled, kissed him, asked about his day. But something had shifted. She didn't confront him immediately. She needed time to understand, to decide whether love could survive truth. They left for the honeymoon anyway. 5 nights at Atlantis the Palm. Suite 4712. Ocean view. Private plunge pool. The perfect escape. June 9th, arrival day. They dined at Nobu. Laughed at old stories. Held hands walking the boardwalk. To staff, they looked like any other newlyweds. June 10th, spa day for her, golf for him. He returned early, tense. She noticed but said nothing. June 11th, the day everything changed. They spent the morning on a yacht charter. Afternoon at the aquarium. Evening in the suite. Around 9:30 p.m., after room service cleared the plates, Nadia sat on the edge of the bed. She held the secondary phone in her hand. "Khalid," she said softly, "we need to talk." He froze in the doorway. The color left his face. She didn't raise her voice. She spoke calmly, fact by fact. The messages. The photos. "Sammy." She asked only one question, "Is this real?" He sank into the armchair. For a long minute, silence. Then he told her everything. He spoke of the pressure from his father, the uncles, the boardroom expectations. He spoke of shame that had lived inside him since he was 14. He spoke of loving her, genuinely, but never being able to love her the way she deserved. He cried. She listened. She didn't scream. She didn't throw things. She asked, "Why didn't you tell me before the wedding?" "I thought I could change," he whispered. "I thought marriage would make it go away." She stood, walked to the balcony, stared at the lit-up palm below. "I trusted you," she said. "I built my future around us." He begged her to stay, to talk more, to give him time. She said she needed air. She walked out of the suite at 10:42 p.m. Security cameras caught her in the elevator, alone, arms crossed, face unreadable. She returned at 1:18 a.m. Khalid was waiting, sitting on the floor, back against the bed. They talked until dawn. She asked if he wanted a divorce. He said he didn't know. She asked if he loved Sammy. He said yes. She asked what he wanted from life. He had no answer. At 4:15 a.m., exhausted, she lay down. He sat beside her, stroking her hair. She closed her eyes. At some point, he placed a pillow gently over her face, not in rage, but in panic. Not to kill, perhaps, but to silence the pain he had caused, to stop the conversation that was tearing him apart. Seconds stretched. She struggled briefly. Then stillness. He lifted the pillow. Her eyes were open. No breath. He sat there for 20 minutes, numb. Then he stood, showered, dressed in dark clothes, left the suite at 4:47 a.m. He walked to the garage, took a service exit, disappeared into the city. Police traced Khalid's movements for weeks. Credit cards unused. Phone off. Friends and family claimed ignorance. Sammy Nasser cooperated fully. He had ended contact after the wedding, unaware of the honeymoon plans. A nationwide alert went out. Interpol issued a red notice. Nothing. Rumors spread quietly in elite circles. Some said he fled to Oman, others to Beirut. A few whispered he had taken his own life in the desert. Nadia's family flew in from Amman. Her mother collapsed at the morgue. Her father demanded answers. The media called it a tragedy. Headlines avoided specifics. Dubai's privacy laws are strict. The official report listed cause of death as asphyxiation due to smothering. Manner: homicide. Suspect: Khalid bin Rashid al-Harbi, at large. No trial. No confession. No body recovered from him. In the years that followed, Suite 4712 was renovated and renumbered. The hotel never speaks of it. Staff sign NDAs. Nadia's name appears in charity reports, scholarships in her name for women in business. Khalid's name fades from company letterheads. The family business continues under his younger brother. Sometimes, late at night, people who knew them both wonder the same thing. Was it rage? Despair? Fear of exposure? Or was it simply the unbearable weight of a life built on silence, finally collapsing under truth? No one knows. Khalid al-Harbi remains missing. Nadia Khalil remains gone. And in Dubai, where fortunes rise and secrets sink beneath the sand, the tragedy of room 4712 became just another story whispered among those who understand that even the tallest towers cast long shadows.